Lay back. Let's let some good deep breaths flow. If block is toward the base of the mat, go ahead and scoot it a bit closer. We're going to use some of it while we're on our back. And allow yourself some good deep breaths. Inhales are flowing in. Nice relaxing exhales. Feel as if this chance to breathe is taking your worries away. All the cares in the world are less important. The chance just to breathe. And so this moment connects us with our intention. The intention for today is the idea of a retreat. One good thing about holiday weeks is it kind of just feels different than other weeks. And that's what retreats are for me. It's kind of stepping outside of my normal life, outside of the whatever it is my normal activities are, and you get to have something different. It's like it opens up your senses so that life is a little bit more curious, a little bit more creative, kind of you're open for more fun. All your senses, your sight, your ears, they're all just a little more open for just how fresh and different things are. And that retreat setting can be really important, especially when life gets hard. So for instance, just this year in general is probably hard for a lot of people. So a retreat from that, a retreat from sometimes holidays tend to be really hard for people. I know I was talking with somebody in the military, they have to kind of check in on people that have a higher suicide risk because this is that time of year that loneliness and hard family situations can really, really affect people. And so it's a retreat from those types of feelings. It's a retreat from all of that, bringing ourselves into this present moment, into our breath, into that sense of curiosity and just openness with our senses. That's what we're doing. And the cool thing is with this class, we work a little bit harder. So I like that because that kind of shakes me out of my norm. It gets me out of my thinking brain and into just my body. I'm just trying to breathe. I'm just trying to move and keep my heart, pumping really nicely. And so that's the intention that will lead us into this beautiful practice today. Just a nice retreat for us all. So with that idea to get us started, let's begin with the knees coming into chest. Let yourself rock around just a little bit. This could be left and right. It could be circular rocking, just whatever helps the body feel really good. Easy movements to start to return to presence. Of course, none of us are numb to our body ever. We're never just ignoring it, doing our to-do list tasks. But for those, that do sometimes forget to listen, this is that chance to start to return to the low back. And from here, let's release left leg to ground. Right leg starts to extend up to sky. Let's feel how that leg is for a moment. Maybe you're in the toes, letting some circles happen. Maybe you're in the hamstrings, trying to extend the leg straighter. Maybe you're in the calf, trying to really pull the toes as close as you can to the face. So just notice, be present with all these goodies. Hands release. This leg is going to trace 5 circles to each direction. Let's go clockwise first. So it goes wide, around, in, and up. And repeat 4. It's okay if there's little snap, crackle, pop things going on. We're still getting into our body. 3. And 2. 1. Good. Leg back up to sky. Brief little tug. And take the right thigh crossed really tightly over the left thigh. We'll bring the thighs in, grabbing onto each ankle if we can. I love to take stretches for the major muscle groups to get us started. So that was hamstring and now into hips. This could be a spot where you might want to rock a little bit. It could be a spot where you want to use the arm strength to try to pull the legs in. So it's up to you, whatever feels best, whatever takes you to presence. Good. And as we start to release our hands, drop the right leg down, left leg starts to work its way up to sky. Maybe again your ankle, foot area. Maybe you're on the hamstrings trying to take the bend out of the knees. Maybe you're on the calf trying to pull the toes closer and closer to face. Lots of goodies to play with. The breath flows in and out. Releasing the hands. Let this leg go counterclockwise. So jump out and up. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Thigh, that left thigh crosses really tightly over the right. Try to grab onto ankles again. If you don't feel anything, change it up. Either rock or see if arm strength can pull it in a little closer. Nice inhale. Exhale. Release. And from here, both legs go up to sky. Our inner thighs are trying to glue together. In fact, you can grab your block and place it on either inner thighs or inner calves to give you something to squeeze into. Arms are welcome to spread open. And so with both legs working together now, trace a circle clockwise and then counterclockwise. So you can start off nice and small like a beach ball, basketball. And remember to change the direction each time. One is clockwise, the next one is counter, back and forth. If you want to increase difficulty, you can start to make it bigger. Listen to the low back though. The low back will start to arch off the ground if you're dipping too low that your core can't keep the core solid on the earth. So only go so far as it's flat on the ground. And we're taking a few more rounds. Around, around. Let's go 5 and 5. It's okay if you're faster or slower than me based on your circle size. There's 4 and 4. 3 and 3. 2 and 2. Last 1 and 1. Good. Set the block off to the floor. Grab onto right leg. Cover the left leg down above ground. Then lifting left leg back up. Switch. Do a round or 2 with hands clasped around the thigh that's up. You're welcome to try a round or 2 with no hands after that. And then choose your preference. Hands makes it a little easier, no hands quite a bit harder. Choose your difficulty today. Good, I'm hearing the breath go. That's super key. Here's 5, 5. You can always take breaks if needed. 4, and 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Take the knees above hips, but toes lower down to a bench shape, kind of like we're on a chair that fell on its back. Spread arms open left and right. We're working on our obliques. So with our inhale, tilt the knees partway to one side. With our exhale, lift the knees back up. Inhale, partway to the other side. Exhale, back up. Just keep on switching back and forth with the breath. We're taking a few rounds. Take 2 more each. For those 2, the next time the knees naturally fall over to the left, let them drop into a nice twist. You could place block in between the knees or under the bottom knee if you like. Let the arms really spread open. And let's take a moment to move through the right shoulder. Try to keep the right hand in contact with the floor for as much of this as you can. But the right hand starts to circle up above the head. Try to keep it in contact as we roll over, reaching that right hand through the side. Eventually it'll have to lift off the ground as we circle around the knee and the thigh. And then it falls back open. And then no rush if you're still finishing that first one, but eventually reverse, dropping the right hand down, slowly around, back in contact with the floor, up, and open. A few more breaths just to feel the body relaxing in this shape. And then we're going to take a quadricep stretch. So roll onto your left side body, and then your right hand is free to grab your right toes behind your back. Point the knee toward the base of the mat, the foot of the mat. If you're laying on your side, this can feel really nice. Some of us might want a little bit more. We might return the toes to the ground behind us. We might return some of the back or all of the back onto the ground. It's up to you, whatever amount feels good as a gentle quad stretch, not hurting knee. One more breath in. And out. Roll as much over to the left as you need to free out that right knee. And then spread the arms open left and right. Take the knees back to that bent knee shape. We'll do a few more rounds before we switch sides. So inhale, knees tilt partway to one side. Exhale, back center. Inhale, second side. Exhale, center. If you want to add difficulty here, when you're tilting off to a side, you can also straighten and bend the legs. That'll add just a little bit more torque. So feel how the core has to really hold itself strong to let the legs do that gentle motion. Good. Breathing is always key. If ever you start to lose the breath, take a break. Perhaps 2 more to each side. When the knees naturally are at the right side after those 2 rounds, let yourself just take that twist. Simple and easy. Left shoulder will start to take that full circle through its socket, so the fingers try to stay in contact with ground. Trace up and around. No sense of rush. Take all the time you'd like. Whenever you do finish that first direction, let the shoulder have the opposite direction. And no rush. When you're there at the end, be with your body breathing for a moment. This is a chance to return to the body. Twisting can feel really unique on the breath. So experience, where does the breath flow? Does it flow easily into belly? Does it flow into chest? Can I feel it pass your throat? Another inhale. And with the exhale, we're on the quad stretch. You're welcome to roll over to the right side to access left foot into left hand. Point the knee to foot of mat. If you need a little more, you can return the toes partly onto the back. You can return the spine all the way. It's up to you how far to take it. Get it at a spot where quad is happy and open. Be here 2 more breath cycles, deep and full. Good. We'll return onto our back, preparing for bridge pose. Feet are planted close to glutes, hands are on the floor by hips. With our inhale, we pick up the hips, rolling 1 vertebrae at a time up. Exhale rolls us back down. Some people might want a lot of reps, so you can go fast up and down, just keep it with the breath. Some of us might be going nice and slow to feel how many muscle groups have to be involved for this. I'll count a few more. If you're at a different pace than me, don't stress it. Just go until I reach the end. But if you're doing okay, here's 5. And down. 4. 3. 2. 1. When hips relax back down, locate block. So block is in hands. Arms and hands are above the chest. Legs are also above hips. With our inhale, arms and legs travel away from one another. So arms backwards, legs forward. With our exhale, bring it back together. Switch the block into the legs and then take another round. Inhale, stretch away. Exhale, back through center, switch block. So switching back and forth between hands one time and feet the next. Remember, the amount that you lower legs down will increase or decrease difficulty, but we don't want to increase back pain. So again, pay attention to the low back. If it arches, that's too far. You're doing okay. Let's take 3 more reps to each. 3 and 3. Here's 2, 2, 1, and 1. Good. Let the legs bend. We're dropping the feet back down to bridge pose. Block can be off to our side. This bridge pose, we're trying to clasp hands behind the back. So lift and stay lifted. Hands clasped. Walk the shoulders together if you can. Try to lift hips higher if you can. Try to squeeze in our thighs together a little more. Take 3 more breaths. Good. After that last one, release hands. Roll hips down. Lift, slide the legs long. We're going to prepare for a variation of fish pose. So slide legs long, lift the chin into chest, and kind of take a prep position with the elbows underneath you. From here, you can grab block, slide the block under your shoulder blades. I like to go low height because at that height, as I relax up and over, the crown of my head is comfortable, relaxing back to ground. But if neck has any sorts of injuries or issues, you could always just support the head and the neck with the hands. So feel this. This is the opposite. This is like a retreat from how we oftentimes treat the spine. Oftentimes we're hunched forward, kind of collapsed in the lungs. So take a moment to really feel how is the breath through lungs and through belly and arched open legs. Two more breaths. And that second breath, lift chin to chest. Start to work the elbows underneath you, freeing yourself out. Or rising up to a comfortable seated place, just simple cross leg. Good. So grabbing block, we're going to do some arm strengthening. This is one that we'll repeat multiple times today. So we've got the hands on the edges of the block. The elbows are bent so that when we push into the block, we're feeling biceps and pecs strengthened, contracted. So feel yourself pressing. Keep the breath flowing. We're going from low height, somewhere around belly, gradually up to high height, depending on our shoulders. That might mean forehead, that might mean above the crown of head. Keep pressing, keep breathing as we lower it back down. The best part about this is you get to choose how much strength is happening, is being built from this. Let's go 2 more rounds. And back down. More, pressing harder if you can. Good. Back down. Okay, setting block down. The right arm can cross over the chest. Left arm pulls it in. Oftentimes here I'll tilt my head to the left, and that can increase the stretch on the right neck. Inhale, both arms spread open. Exhale, left arm into the stretch. Head can tilt perhaps to right if that feels good. Inhale opens. Good. Exhale, grab block. We're heading into boat pose. In boat pose balancing, we're going to use our inhales to lift the block up. Exhales to touch block down to a side. Inhale up, exhale down. If you're gripping higher, it'll be easier because you don't have to twist quite so far. Lower will make you have to work a little more, so you get to choose the difficulty. So find that boat pose that will work. Inhale up, exhale down. You're doing okay. 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set block down, plant the feet in front of you, plant the hands behind you, lifting up to tabletop. From tabletop, bend right knee comes to nose. 3 and 2, 1. Left knee. 3, 2, 1. Set the hips down. Let's take a cobbler's pose. Grabbing the ankles, feel how much the spine wants to relax forward. Good. Catching that breath. Sometimes these are the retreat moments. Like I made it to this point. Spine rises up. Pick up the right knee, flip it over to left, but then create a pinwheel. So separate anything that's kind of stacked on top. Good. Plant hands to that left side. We're picking up the right hip. We're spiraling the spine around. So it's nice because it's kind of a low back twist. Good. Torso returns forward. Plant both hands behind us. And we're heading backwards until we feel that right quad stretch. So some of us just on hands, it's enough. Some of us will go down to one elbow, both elbows. If you need just a hair more, scoop your tailbone under like you're a dog tucking its tail. That will get you right into it. Okay, reverse every step to come back up. Swivel right leg back open. Take an easy cobbler. Maybe the head's willing to relax just a little deeper. And head up. Pick up left knee, flip it over to right. Create the pinwheel shape. And plant hands to right side. Roll around to back of mat. Nice little twist. We untwist, both hands are behind us. Quad stretch for that left one. So head any amount backwards until you feel it. More breaths wherever we are. Reverse every step to come up. Take one more cobbler here. Bottoms of feet back together. Maybe spine can release forward the deepest yet. Okay, rising back up. Pick up the knees, send them forward. You want to be able to sit up tall and strong, so that means if knees need to be bent to do that, that's great. Grab your phone. Let's do another 3 rounds of what we did before. So core tall, posture tall, push into block. Feel it engaged already. Keep breathing. Slowly move up to tall height. Low height. Keep pressing. This one could be easy if you don't push at all, so it's up to you to create that. You could totally cheat here if you wanted to, but we're not doing that. Just 2. Okay, last one. Good. Press a little longer right at the bottom when you get there. And with our release, some of us might be at a point that resting block on thighs or floor, you can rest your head on it. Some of us might be at a point that crossed arms can just support the spine as we release over. So whatever feels better. Get bent knees a little bit is okay. Nothing wrong with that. That helps our hamstring out. Spine starts to rise up. Have the block stay toward the top of mat. We're going to use it shortly. Swing the legs underneath. We're kneeling. Let's do a couple of cat cows. The breath flow. Good inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Back to neutral. So we'll do several strengthening things from here. With the first one, it's going to be going back and forth between an up dog and a down dog shape. So to get hands in position, bump them maybe a hand width forward. And then tuck toes, lift hips up high, downward facing dog. Sometimes little wiggles here can be nice. Dropping one heel closer to ground, the other. Good. So we're going to aim for 5 cycles. It starts off shifting shoulders over wrists like a plank. And then you choose how far the hips dip down. Doesn't have to be super far. back up to down dog. Feel that in the shoulders. Let's repeat that if you're good. 4. And up. 3. 2. Last one. Beautiful. Drop the knees down. Allow the elbows to even lower down. This will be dolphin pose. It'll be a similar motion to what we just did. The head will kind of rock forward and back. It just may not look quite as exaggerated in the hips. So one hand makes a fist, the other hand hugs around the fist. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. We're gonna aim again for 5. Let the head go as far forward as it can. And hips back up. 4. 3. Keep breathing. 2. And 1. Good. Soften down for a couple of breaths, child pose. Okay. Coming up to kneeling. But this next one, hands are under shoulders. Feet are slightly wider. They're about as wide as mat. Or if you don't have socks on, maybe wider than mat. It's up to you. Wider will make it a little harder. It'll be like a plank position. And then we'll try to lift one foot up slowly, and then the other foot up. So know that in your plank, it's better to have the hips slightly higher than kind of chest collapsed down. So if you need to modify, hips higher is how you get there. So come to your plank. Shift your shoulders to the left a little bit until you can lift the right foot. And right foot down. Shift a little bit to the right with shoulders, so left foot. Good. Let's take another 10. And 10. 9. 9. 8. 8. 7. 7. 6. I'm hearing breathing. That's good. You can always take breaks. Here is 5. And 5. 4. And 4. Strong shoulders. 3. 3. 2. 2. 1. 1. Lower the knees for a brief moment. Even come up high so we can shrug the shoulders up, back, and down. Reverse. Another one each direction. Good work. Okay. So now with this block in front of us, we're going to go through wide feet, side planks. So we'll have right hand to lift block up to sky, and then it comes down, left hand lifts block up to sky, and it comes down. Okay. So take your, if you need wrist rolls, that's okay. You can even take breaks for wrists. You can go to elbows if you need to. But take your plank. Right hand. Left hand. Good. 9. And 9. 8. 8. 7. 7. 6. 6. 5. 5. 4. You can always drop out early, that's okay. Here is 3. 3. 2, 2, 1, and 1. Good. Scoot the block forward. We're on kneeling. Float the right hand up to sky. And do a few nice wrist rolls for that right hand. Take one clockwise, one counterclockwise, and just keep on switching back and forth. Good. Start to thread that right shoulder all the way down to the ground. Left hand could slide up to top of mat. It could wrap around the low back. It's all your choice. Find the place that lets you breathe, lets you connect with heart. You're doing awesome. Just a couple more things. And you got our retreat space. And that left hand in front of face. Press into it. Up at this nice neutral place, take a cat. Cow. Good. Neutral. Left hand up to sky. Some nice wrist rolls both directions. Clock and counter clock. Back and forth. And thread that shoulder all the way through. Right hand gets to reach or wrap. Good inhale. Exhale. Press right hand into the ground in front of face. Rise up. Another cat. Inhale. Good. We're going to head up to a forward fold at top of mat. So briefly transition through down dog and then work your way up to top. Inhale to rise. Hands down to heart. Good. Drop your right hand to right thigh. Left hand circles up and over, lean laterally. And as we come back up, switch. Good. Back up. Grab onto the block. This easy grip for a moment. Float the right knee. Put the right leg back, warrior 3. Softly land warrior 1. And from warrior 1, make sure the legs are in a strong place where you can feel that foundation working. We're doing another round. Sink into block. Find it at the low height, rest, breathing. Slowly raise it up to tall height. Back down to low. And 2. One. Good. Slide the elbows straight. With the block here, feel how it is to take the arms by the ears, having a gentle squeeze in. Takes a little bit of effort to keep the arms right there. So one more inhale. Exhale. From here, take the block behind your back, swivel on the toes to face the long edge of mat, and then as we bow forward, the block will help the shoulders stretch If you prefer to release block for a moment, clasp hands instead for the shoulder stretch. That could feel nice. It's up to you. Block gives you a little bit more space in between. Hand clasp maybe a little deeper for those that have that shoulder space. You don't have to keep hands there the whole time. You can drop them down if you feel ready sooner than others. Let's just go one more breath in and out. You haven't released block back in front. Release. Let's rise up. Grab onto it. Let's just pivot on our heels to face the back wall. Take it to that warrior one shape of legs. So the front knee to this direction is bent. Push into the block. It's at low height. Take it slowly up. And slowly down. Repeat 2. And down. Last time to really press into block. Slowly rise up. And down. Press, 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 press. Good. We can release the effort, straighten the elbows, swing the block up by our ears. So what it takes to have that gentle pressure in. Good, and then soften block by heart. We'll just play with that warrior 3 to this side to balance our legs. So shift onto right leg, so that brief float. You can set the block down, we're done with it. Good. Coming back up. Good. You can face forward, backward, whatever. But let's clasp hands with the feet a little more narrow. And then knees can be super bent through this. They can be straight, but let's take one more diving down. That shoulder clasp. Sometimes I'll kind of tick-tock. I'll lean the top hands over to the right, over to the left. Good, releasing hands to floor. Walk the fingers to the outside of the right foot. Feel that nice twist in the spine. Over to left foot. Going back to the center. Let's take the feet wide enough for a Malasana squat. So heels falling about as wide as mat is what works for me. Toes turn out. If you want to sit on block, that's fine. Letting ourselves lower down. We can press the hips open. Isn't that calming face? You can always bump the block height up higher if it's not quite enough. I'll guide us into a twist, but you don't have to take it. If you like just staying in the center for a little longer, that's fine. For the twist, right shoulder comes closer to right knee, right hand to floor, left hand to sky, or even hand to low back. If it's at low back, that left shoulder pulls backwards about 2 inches just to open up that chest space. Another good inhale. Exhale, equal in the center with the elbows. One more side, left shoulder slides closer to left knee, left hand down, right hand up. Maybe right hand to low back, with the right shoulder pulling backwards. Good, unwind to center. Another huge breath in. And out. Let's softly make our way down to the ground. We can have a hand in front, a hand behind. If you've got the block, just kind of shift in whatever way is going to work for you. Good. Let's take the left leg crossed in front of us. And then the right side, if it's possible to get the thigh over, so the foot's kind of trying to go to the ground, try to go for that cross arrangement. So right leg over. And then left hand grabs the right knee, right hand goes behind. Lift the spine up, spiral around. Beautiful. As we return up, leave the left leg down, right leg slides open to a wide angle. Right hand in front of the right calf, left shoulder pulls back, left hand reaches up and over. Good, easing up. Switch it out. Now right leg's the bottom one. Left crosses over. Right hand grabs left knee, left hand behind. Think up first, and then spiral around. Good, return. Straighten that left leg out wide. Left hand drops easy to the floor. Right shoulder pulls back to stay stacked. Right hand up and over. Good, and as we rise up, this starts our transition to Shavasana. So if there's last seated stretches you want to take, go for it. If there's last laying stretches you want to take on your back, like happy baby or anything, go for it. It's whatever's comfortable to guide us eventually towards Shavasana. No rush, only when we're ready. So don't feel like I'm rushing you into Shavasana just because I'm going to speak for a moment. There are some that are heading into that beautiful relaxed state. So when you get there, sooner or later, no rush, think of a place that's an amazing vacation or retreat for you. So maybe it's by a beach, maybe it's in a mountain, in a forest, maybe it's rocky like the Grand Canyon or like Red Rocks. But think of a place that for you, just being there feels like it's feeding your soul energy. Pick that place and mentally travel there. Imagine you're just soaking up the sun. All you have to do is just relax and breathe. That's the retreat we'll take for ourselves over the next couple of months. Just easy inhales and exhales. in this beautiful retreat space. Allow yourself to take around 3 more good deep breaths just to soak it all in. Starting to introduce movements back to the body. You can stretch out in ways that feel really good. Perhaps taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Allowing ourselves to relax and return. 2 or 3 more good deep breaths until you feel ready to rise. So here with hands in front of heart, we allow ourselves to return to the idea of the retreat, recognizing that at least mentally, this is all it takes to be in that kind of vacation retreat mindset. Just takes that mental shift, maybe taking, picking our heart up for a little while so we can step outside of our normal and really tuning into the body, listening to it, listening to the breath, visualizing, opening our senses. And in this way, no matter what craziness is going on with our family or in the world around us, we can be in that beautiful retreat mindset. So with this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.